Okay, everybody. I have something really cool to tell you about. If you haven't heard yet about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. Now, the way that you can do this is you got to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, and then you can get started. It's really fun. We just switched over recently here at All2Real2, and I'm enjoying it so far. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2Real2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, social distancing away via the interwebs, is
Matthew. The Rise of Skywalker is on Disney Plus. But the Clone Wars is better. Haas.
Is that on your birth certificate?
No, not yet.
You're going to change it?
Probably not.
Okay. I was going to say, because that'd probably be a waste of money.
Oh, that's right. They charge you by the letter, don't you? So.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that how they do it?
I don't know.
Is it like placing a personal ad in the newspaper? That's the letter.
Yeah, I don't know.
So today we are covering an older movie that is kind of slightly underrated movie called Bongwater. Came out in 1998.
Sorry.
Yes.
I was going to do a sound effect, and of course they had to have music in the beginning of the video to be an asshole. Here. We tried a bong. Oh, that was my fault. No, those were bong drum effects. Come on, idiots. I mean, it's, oh well, the moment's over. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Here.
And this is a movie that stars Luke Wilson, Alicia Witt, Amy Locane, Brittany Murphy, Andy Dick, yep. Jeremy Sisto, Jack Black, Jamie Kennedy, Scott Conn, among others. Yeah. And it was directed by Richard Sears, written by Nora McCoby, and if my computer will cooperate with me, I can tell you the second writer. It was written by here we go. It was written by Nora McCoby and Eric Weiss, and based on the novel Bongwater, written by Michael Hornberg. Yes. So, that is the stats. What was this movie about, Matt? And you were the one that chose to watch this movie this week. And I enjoyed it. So, what was it about, Matt?
It was basically about this dude who is a pot dealer that only sells like drugs out of his house. He doesn't really do much else other than that. And this woman comes over to his house one night because her friend is like passed out, and she thinks that someone sold her some bad drugs or whatever. So she thinks that Luke Wilson's character's his name is David, that he sold her something bad. And then this woman, whose name is Serena, becomes like just a regular part of this guy's life, for better or for worse, because her character is very, very volatile, or volatile type person. And he's a really good painter, drawer, artist. She wants to get him to stop selling drugs, or just get out of just kind of in a funk. I mean, even though he's kind of like one of these guys who like pretends that he's okay by being like all nonchalant and like, oh, I don't care about anything, nothing matters, but like not like in a edgelord way, but just kind of like in a subtle way. And obviously he's kind of like in a kind of depressed funk because pretty much just like lives in his sweatpants and t-shirt or whatever. And she wants to sell his paintings at an art gallery. And this is like the very first plot, because this movie kind of goes all over the place, but this is like the first plot that kind of goes off into all the other storylines in the rest of the movie.
Yes. This is kind of one of those I don't know, like mid to late 90s kind of indie film almost feeling, where it's like just a slice of life, like reality bites sort of kind of thing.
Reality bites, but that's what life is. Yeah, pretty much. And the movie just kind of just spirals from there into like several different stories revolving around David's character, but then also revolving around Serena, and occasionally which this, but like my man crush is Jeremy Sisto, always has been for a long time. He's in this movie, and just got that sweet baritone voice, just you hear that, just like everything feels it's gonna be okay. Well, you got Andy Dick to kind of ruin it though, so
You mean my man crush? Oh wait, no, I'm joking. No, yeah, I mean they play like what I think is a gay couple.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be a couple.
They never like make it obvious one way or the other. They live together. They're very affectionate to each other, but they are to like everybody. So it's kind of like you don't know if they're a couple or not. Sometimes, I mean, you can't really tell, but I think they are. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's just kind of left ambiguous, I think, either way. But yeah, he's in it. He's they kind of will go back to their storylines, which is really not much. It's usually just them sitting watching TV, like, and smoking. Like, the people in this movie smoke way too much pot, like to the point where it's like you get high, you stay high for a while before you need to refill or whatever. Like, and it's like scene after scene. It's like, okay, you just smoked a joint like 2 seconds ago. Like you went to another room. Now you're hitting a bomb. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of it seems like way too much, but I've never smoked any, so I don't know. So
yeah, well, it's just like anything. I mean, it's like if you like you drink like a thing of soda, and like literally the next 2 seconds you're cracking open another can of soda, and you got like 16 soda cans in like 10 minutes. Like, it's like, come on, like, chill out with the soda.
Oh,
but
that's bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Too much, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'm drinking Pepsi as we say this. Anyways,
well, that's fine as long as you don't have like 70,000 Pepsi bottles that you've drank in the past hour. You should be good.
Well, it was like the last 2 hours.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, they're pretty much everybody's high throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
From mostly marijuana, but then other drugs here and there.
Yeah, with Jack Black's character. All right, so I'll try to pin down. All right, what happened? So Serena is like a really, in my opinion, she's a bad person. I mean, she's got like mental problems, which that doesn't make her a bad person by itself, but she just like doesn't care to like do anything about it. Like she just revels like in her being that way, like, oh, that's me, take me as I am type of thing. It's like I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking like, this is a really abusive person we got here. Like, for one thing, she didn't even tell David that she set up an interview with this woman that supposedly owns an art gallery, which we turned out she really doesn't own one. But it just he's sleeping in his house and he wakes up to this woman's dog running into his bedroom, and it's like, even if I was like glad that someone would do something like that, just that alone would make me feel kind of weird. It's like, hey, I didn't even wake up yet, I didn't take a shower, like, and I got the stranger in my house, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not something you do to someone. Like,
yeah.
And then like she was getting all mad at him because he dared to be like upset about that, and like threw a glass or bottle at the wall or something. I don't know what it was. Then she just kind of like did like this crazy laugh, and it's like, oops, that's my evil twin. I'm like, you got to get away from that woman. That is trouble. Get the hell away. Like, someone who acts like that is not someone that you want in your life. But like,
yeah. But they
whatever.
always seem to be the most attractive. Anyways,
well, that's
I'm joking.
One of those theories about I know that the people who are basically just about to fall apart tend to be the most whatever.
So
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
mean it's I've been there myself. Yeah. Anyways, the a couple times. Anyways, at least, and so yeah, and in the 90s at one point. Yeah. So the yeah, right around the time this movie came. Anyways, we're gonna we're going to not go down memory lane here with Mike, and that's another podcast altogether. Memory lane with Mike. The good times, the bad times.
Yeah.
The bad times, the bad times. The good times, the bad times, the bad times, the bad times, the bad. Hi, I'm Mike.
When I get knocked down, I get up again.
You're never gonna keep me down.
You're never gonna keep me. Yeah, I don't know the lyrics. That tub thumping on.
Pissing the night away.
Okay.
Pissing the night away. Oh, what a great song by a political activist group that got one hit that was
exactly
totally ironically played in a bunch of clubs and stuff. Anyways,
I mean, they got a song called "The Day the Nazi Died," which is like literally about like people like thinking everything's fine, that the bad guy's never gonna come back, and it's all just a false sense of security. So it's like, and then they get this song that just becomes like a one-hit wonder.
And the thing is, the song was written ironically, and people don't realize that. Anyways, I mean, they even tell you in the song.
Right.
When they're saying pissing the night away.
Right.
Okay, so that's part of our other podcast. It's called Music with Matt and Mike, and where we analyze one-hit wonders. Anyways, no, that doesn't exist yet. Yet. When we run out of other topics, that's what we're gonna do.
God.
Oh boy. So yeah, this fiery redhead comes into their lives, and she basically in this movie kind of causes havoc.
Yeah.
Emotionally and I use the fiery word on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
true.
At one point, David's house burns down.
Quote, accidentally.
Yeah. And Serena walks away from it, basically. While it's burning. And then just, moves. To New York.
She moves, New York. So this is interesting because this did the whole 3 weeks earlier thing. And, like, the episode of Community where Abed is, like, when they're driving in the RV to deliver that giant hand to whoever bought it from the dean.
Yeah.
Abed's like 3 weeks earlier, and they're like what? And it's like, yeah, like how sometimes in movies or shows, like when they show a scene where like nothing's going on, it says 3 weeks earlier. It's like, I don't know.
That's funny.
So the movie starts actually with them in a fight, and then he leaves to go drive it off, and then she leaves the house as it catches on fire, and then he comes back, and then they're trying to calm him down and stuff, and then it goes 3 weeks earlier into how this whole thing started. But it's not like a total like reverse order, because at some point in the middle of the movie it kind of comes and then it's like in real time then.
Yeah,
like,
it catches up to real time at that point.
Yeah.
But which is interesting.
It is interesting. I like that actually when they did that. I thought that was kind of cool, but it's kind of hard to describe this movie though, Mike, because like there's so many stories going on. Like,
it's kind of like, okay, at this time in the world, like in the 90s, you had movies like Dazed and Confused, Reality Bites, and Singles, and different movies of that nature that were all kind of about just like almost more like about a feeling than an actual plot.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like there was kind of a plot here, but a lot of these movies at this time tended to not really have plots. They were kind of more about a time period in somebody's life more than, which was fine, kind of more like a slice of life sort of comedy or drama. And I liked that. It was really cool, and then it got to be oversaturated with that sort of thing. Like almost every indie or even studio film that came out for a while there in the 90s was like this. Like, it's like you had things like even Pulp Fiction kind of doesn't really have a plot per se. There is to a point, but and then you have like Go and other movies from that era that were kind of all like just basically kind of like what was happening to these people, like Swingers, for example, which is one of my favorite movies of that time. It was kind of more, there's not really a plot per se as much as as just stuff happening, which isn't necessarily a plot,
Mm-hmm.
Because plots usually have a through line of what's going on and stuff. This kind of has a plot, but not really.
Yeah, I know what you mean about that.
Like a lot of these movies at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Clerks, for example, which is one of the big ones of the era. Clerks doesn't really have a plot.
Yeah, I think so.
Mallrats. I mean, almost all the Kevin Smith films don't really have. Well, I mean, Chasing Amy has a plot per se, but you know, it's just kind of like that was just kind of the cool indie filmmaker thing to do at the time, which kind of actually is what got me into liking movies, which is weird. So, because I kind of preferred these movies where I kind of just got to spend some time with people and not necessarily, you know, cared about the plot per se.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a resolution in this movie, and there's resolution in all those movies, but it's not like necessarily A, B, C, D, E, F, G sort of plot, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminded me of Bottle Rocket in a little bit. I think Bottle Rocket came out like a year before this movie did, or a couple of years.
Yeah, which also starred Luke Wilson.
Right, yeah. That was interesting. The Luke Wilson... I think, like, I did a little inception on myself because I had watched Stargirl a couple times, and Luke Wilson's in that movie, and that
TV
may
show.
have been TV show. That may have been what eventually got me thinking about Bongwater, like a movie to watch that was kind of funny but kind of quirky and stuff like that. I could have brainwashed myself into thinking of this movie.
Yeah. I like Luke Wilson. I think it's like Owen got like most of the. I mean, they both are popular, but you know, it's like I think Luke got short shrift in a lot of things, you know, because I think he's actually a really good actor who doesn't get as much notoriety as he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of like him a little bit better than Owen Wilson myself. His style, at least. This is my personal. Because they, this Bottle Rocket, that was a really good movie. That kind of didn't have a plot. I mean, it had some plot, but it was kind of one of those things where it kind of felt like a feeling for the most part, and there was some mission that they had to do in the movie that kind of kept them on track. I mean, this movie's got it a little bit because David needs to go to this place to buy more weed to sell, so that's kind of a mission he has to accomplish. He's got to buy more weed, otherwise he's going to be fresh out and can't do business anymore. So,
yeah. After all of his stash got burned up in the building. I mean,
that's right. Yeah, that's why he ran out. Yeah, because she burned his house down by quote accident.
Yeah,
but I'm not even sure about that. But
so yeah, basically he goes on to this at one point while we have things going on over in New York with Serena. Basically David's having a relationship with Brittany Murphy's character of Mary. And at one point he takes her up to meet this guy Devlin to get drugs, played by Jack Black. in very Jack Black Tenacious D style. Yeah, Kyle Gass is actually in the movie as well, the other member of Tenacious D, and in those scenes, and you get to hear some nice little music numbers by Jack. So we got that going on. Do you want to take a quick break here, and then we'll talk more about what happens with Jack Black? That way we can get people kind of on suspense to find out.
Sure.
We'll be right back, folks. Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So
it was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story. Get it?
Real.
You know? Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all
Too real.
Bye-bye. And we are back. So, so at this point in the movie, Mary and David go to see Jack Black's character of Devlin. And what happens there, Matt?
Well, I'll explain what happens in the song. Ring ding ding ding, ring ding ding, ring ding ding ding. I am Devlin, and I play guitar and I sing. Yeah, that's my bad impersonation of Tenacious D. But this is interesting because this is before, like, this was like '97 when they made this movie, right?
Yeah.
And this was like the very beginning stages of like Jack Black doing like this really cool like acoustic guitar rock music. Like, so this is probably like the first recordings we have of Jack Black like doing this type of music.
Yeah, possibly. I'm trying to remember when he started Tenacious D. Because, I mean, obviously he knew Kyle Gass at that point because
Yeah.
Kyle's in the movie.
Right.
I doubt this is where they met.
Yeah, no, they did. They met on set, and then Jack Black was doing this music, and Kyle's like, "Oh man, I want to start a band with this guy and do this kind of music." That's what happened, Mike. Come on.
Oh, according to Wikipedia, Tenacious D started in 1994.
Oh, well, fuck off. Okay, well, guess what? I am Jack Black, and I'm going to sing you a song. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Then we have. So basically, what we have here is that they go on this. What is basically they meet up with Devlin, and it turns out to be like a spiritual retreat in the woods. They end up all taking LSD when they're sitting around a campfire. Mary basically goes off with Devlin and leaves David behind. Where David starts hallucinating his mother, who brings him lunch and board games and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, played by Patricia. Patricia Wedding plays the mom. Yeah.
Word up.
Yep. So yeah, and then so basically then they go back, and basically throughout the thing, I mean, it seems like Mary's basically kind of like horny and falls for Devlin.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of ends that relationship there. And
pretty much.
Yeah. Then while that's going on over in New York, this one character that we haven't really talked about, we did a little bit. The character who Jen, who was kind of messed up, and that's how Serena got into their lives, because they were friends. She goes off to New York to hang out with Serena, and they go to some party where Serena is date raped.
Yeah,
which was kind of weird.
That was really interesting.
I'm not sure what the writers are trying to say with that. It was like, I mean, it was basically like kind of a weird thing because she never really tells anybody about it.
Well, she was probably in shock because it was just like a day after it happened when the movie ended, probably.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, it just seemed like it. I'm just trying to figure out the point of it in the movie, like what the message was. Because you don't just throw something like a date rape in a movie for no reason.
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of I mean, I've read a few articles about this, but that like, especially like in the 90s and stuff, like when like people were trying to be like edgelords and stuff, that they would just kind of like do these kind of scenes just to be shocking without really like being sensitive to the fact that like, you know, people actually like go through these experiences in real life. And like, if you're just doing it just for shock value, you're not even doing it to like make a point. You're just doing it to like say like, this is bad or whatever. Like, you know, that's not really good enough reason to do that. Like,
yeah, that's why I was kind of just hoping for some kind of aftermath of that to happen to give a point to it. But I guess, I mean, it kind of did. I mean, I guess emotionally you did kind of understand her in a way that it wasn't like necessarily misogynistic or anything. I mean, and it wasn't trying to, but it wasn't like really woke either, if that makes, you know, it was kind of just there.
It was 97. I mean,
Yeah.
it was not, yeah, it was before that era, the woke era.
Well,
It was pre-woke.
people were still woke. They just didn't call it that.
Right.
You know,
It was 90s woke,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, hey, man, we're going to show the scene. Well, I think the point may have been, again, just to show, like, how dangerous her life was at that point, because she went to New York. Because we forgot to say why she went to New York in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
It was with Jamie Kennedy's character, I think, right?
Yeah, who was some kind of crazy musician, sitar player or something who was it a sitar? Yeah, who was like a devil
Yeah, he was
devil
sitar,
worshipping
but he was also-
LSD taking guy,
And he was
like a
like,
heroin addict.
that's what they said in the movie, that he was a hero to someone. They looked him up or whatever, but also he's mentally ill because he thinks that the devil is talking to him or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
and he ends up throwing her out because she lied about her zodiac sign.
Yeah, because said she was a Pisces and she's a Gemini or something.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for her to be a Gemini with the two sides of her in certain ways too. So,
Yeah, her evil twin. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she said, bro. Yeah.
mhm. It does kind of make sense. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Yeah, but that's why she was in New York, and they had like a couple scenes with them, and that's when he found her driver's license and found out she was a Gemini and freaked out and threw her out.
And then she meets Scott Kahn's character at some bar. Some dude.
It was like some diner or bar or whatever, and then he takes her back to his apartment, which is just basically he's squatting somewhere.
He's like in like a sewers or something. Like they had to
Almost.
climb
down.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I was expecting Splinter and the Turtles to come out, and
right. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think that whole thing could have just been showing like how scary it is for someone to like live in a big city like that when like they're all alone, like they don't have any resources that like pretty much anyone can like prey upon them, because there's just like so many people that can just like tell that you're like, you know, a fresh fish, like you're new there,
yeah,
you know, and like
they take advantage of your vulnerabilities and stuff.
yeah.
And then maybe that was just like crescendoed with the whole date rape, you know?
Yeah, I think so, because she was like, but she was calling all the people back in Portland, like trying to, you know, to get in contact with them again, but not really trying to sound like she needed help, but just like hoping someone would pick up and talk to her so she can like, because that whole thing with her getting Jen to come to hang out with her was pretty much just a ploy to go back home. It was like
Yeah, I was
manipulating her.
trying to get Jen to pay for her plane ticket back.
Yeah.
Yeah, which she ends up doing, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then once she gets back, David sleeps with Jen,
Right.
which that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was a weird. tell you what though, I think Jen and what's Jeremy Sisto's, what's his character's name? Robert or something?
Yeah.
Or, like, I think like they are the most like level-headed people of like that group of people in that story. Jen, she's all about like, well, like what kind of job are you gonna get out here? And she's like, and then Serena's like, I'm gonna start an artistic revolution. It's like, okay, like, you know.
How are you gonna do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's your plan?
Right.
How do you put that on a resume? Anyways, and basically she's staying with Jen, and basically David and Jen come back and have sex. She climbs out the window before that happens. Serena, that is. Yeah. So, yeah. Then there's like an 80s party.
Yeah.
That Robert and Tony are throwing. And they insist that David goes to it. Party's happening, and it gets raided by cops. The party's kind of almost like a rave or something in a way, but like an 80s rave. In like a... It seems like it's like in an abandoned building or something. I used to go to some of those when I was younger. Anyways, yeah. And then the movie basically ends with David running up to the roof to try to escape the cops, and he runs into Serena up there. And then we have like a happy ending with them reunited.
Yep.
So that was the movie.
It's Bongwater. That's...
Yes.
Hold on. Let me find it really quick. I'll talk through it, so don't worry. There's not any dead air here. I gotta get the Bond sound. Come on.
Okay.
Bond sound. There we go. 1 hour Bond sound. So we'll just listen to that for a whole hour. No, it's not working. Bond sound. It shouldn't be that hard. Okay, there we go. Oh, there it is. All right, that's Bongwater. Here it is. Yeah. There we go.
I can't hear it.
Oh, damn it. Oh, well. Hey, I'll send you the file or something. You put it in post if you want.
So, yeah, Bongwater, people. Bongwater.
Yeah.
The greatest name for a film ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want to take a quick break and we can come back with some reviews and some trivia and stuff about the movie?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks. Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Super Story podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
Yeah, no one can really. So
yeah. So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast. And we are Bongwater back.
Okay. Bongwater back. Yep.
I don't know what that was. Anyways, sorry folks, I'm not as funny as I normally am. Anyways, so not that I'm ever funny. So little bit of trivia. I've only got a couple things on trivia here for this movie. When Tommy, Jamie Kennedy's character, looks at Serena's driver's license, we see that her last name is Witt. Alicia Witt, who plays Serena, wrote her last name on it exactly like in her own signature. So, yeah, that's an interesting little credit. Another thing, in the book Bongwater, the character of Serena is actually named Courtney and is based on Courtney Love from the band Hole and of being married to Kurt Cobain fame. She supposedly the writer of the book dated her in the 80s. And based the character of Serena on her, which kind of makes sense from everything I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
the alleged acts of Courtney Love,
anger issues and stuff, and
yeah, and kind of being bipolar in certain ways and stuff. So yeah, that's the trivia that I have for that. Not much. You want me to read a couple of Internet Movie Database reviews of this film, Matt?
Sure.
Okay, so I got one from Rockin' Rollin' Core back on February 2nd of 2012. They wrote Cult Classic. The title notwithstanding, this drug-laden laugh trip is more reality bites than Up in Smoke. David, sweetly earnest Wilson, is a pot dealer with half-baked ambitions of becoming an artist. Serena is his nuttily domineering love interest. Though the pair's lack of real chemistry makes the cuddly ending feel kind of tacked on, the hysterical drug buddy performances of Brittany Murphy, Andy Dick, and Jack Black really make this joint roll. See what they did there?
Yep.
Yep. This is a fast-paced, broad comedy. It requires some patience. You got to sit back and let it envelop you. Let life slow down and enjoy the quirkiness and absurdity of the plot and characters. I still argue it doesn't really have a plot, but that's just me. Anyways, let me find a bad review of the movie just because.
Oh God.
I want to see what people that didn't like the movie thought of it, because I liked it.
Yeah, I want to see what. It's probably you're probably gonna find someone that's gonna. They're gonna not like it, but they're gonna not like it for the wrong reasons. So it's gonna make the review more stupid.
Okay, so here we go. G. Stempopoulos, back in December 21st of 2008.
Oh, almost near Christmas.
Yes.
And the other one was February 2nd, near Valentine's Day.
Yes. His headline is. He's got a 2 out of 10 stars on this, and his headline is Bongwater or was that sewer water?
What?
If this is the author and director's idea of a slice of life, they are clinically manic depressives. A sad, moody film at best, with ubiquitously aimless and unhappy characters who negatively interact with disastrous results. This film is billed as a comedy. What was so funny about losing your home to an allegedly premeditated arson or drug-induced forcible rape of one of the main characters? Is this art imitating life? Jack Black was mildly amusing as the mountain man, weed farmer. However, even this segment of the film was rife with pathos. What was the point of living in the middle of nowhere with an entourage if Black's character was so paranoid? Why was he doing acid with a group of people right out of Woodstock? Is there no end to disconnected relationships, a plot a plotless script and scene transitions lacking any cohesiveness or logical chronology. That's their little, yeah. So I don't know. They have some good points, but I still don't,
But that was the point, though. I'm pretty sure that they did that on purpose. Like, I don't think they were trying to, I mean, it's one thing to criticize someone for what they're trying to do, but they don't succeed at doing that. But if that is what they were trying to do, then it's like, okay, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you're trying to make Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and you don't really land what you were trying to do. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Anyways,
yeah, wait.
Wait, what am I talking about? Anyways, or when you're doing a movie where there is no real plot, and the point of the movie is that it's kind of a drug-fueled feeling of the movie. It's like, I've never been into drugs myself, but I've known several people who were potheads throughout my life or other types of druggies, and lived with some of them and hung out with a bunch of them and stuff like that over the years. And I'm pretty sure this is how they view life. I'm pretty sure. Not all of them, but some of them, They kind of just have like life is kind of non-chronological, kind of just, there's no point to things. There is no plot to life. It's kind of just there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you're doing it all the time, I mean,
yeah,
I've smoked pot a few times in my life. It's nice, but like, I can't imagine doing it all day long, every single day. I mean, I wouldn't get anything done ever. Like,
yeah. You'd be surprised. Some of the people that I know that do the most are kind of high all the time. Like Kevin Smith, for example, or somebody, it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They, so, let me see if there's any other good reviews here to read. Okay, this one is a quick half one. Not long one. This is from Mommy to Ava and Miles. Okay. Anyways, this is a 10 out of 10. And this was written on September 10th of 2003. Misunderstood. This is not a movie for you pseudo-suburban stoner wannabes. If you want that, go rent Half-Baked or Friday. This story is altered greatly from the book to its detriment, but as a lifelong resident of Portland, oh yeah, the movie takes place in Portland. We never mentioned that before, and it was shot there too. It does give a glimpse into a part of Portland culture. Serena is shrill and unlikable, but the portrayal by Alicia Witt speaks volumes. Luke Wilson makes me fall in love with him more and more in each film. That's what Mommy to Ava and Miles said.
That's nice.
I hope Ava and Miles are proud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was written 17 years ago, but still. So Ava and Miles are probably out of the house now. And hopefully they don't call her Mommy still.
Or maybe she changed her name maybe her name wasn't that originally, and then she changed the name, and then that, you know what I mean?
Like she didn't have kids then, and now she does?
Yeah, so maybe like if you change your name on those things, it just kind of reflects like the recent changes you made. I don't know how that works,
I don't know either. But that could be. I don't know how IMDb works when it comes to your name changing. So yeah, would you recommend this movie to anybody, Matt?
Sure, but you'd have to be in the right mood to watch it, I think. like that one reviewer said, it's not fast paced, so it's something that you'd really have to kind of be in the mood to sit down for, not really hope, that you're going to find the plot within the next like first 10 minutes of the movie or whatever. You're going to have to sit through it for a while to kind of get an idea of what's going on. And you probably have to be kind of chilled out a little bit to watch it. You can't be amped up and energetic because it's not that kind of movie. Because you probably would get bored if you're like want something really fast and or furious, or fast and fierce for that.
Yes,
for that matter. See another podcast, Fast and the Fierce.
It's a good episode. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think if you're looking for some Michael Bay type of movie, this isn't it. If you're looking more for basically a mid to late 90s feeling, if you want to, because basically this movie did transport me back to that time period.
Mm.
It really did. I graduated high school in 96, so I was kind of that generation, sort of like that was where I was coming of age sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it had that feel of what I felt back then in a way. A kind of world before the internet took hold, before we had Netflix and a million things to watch and stuff like that. And this is kind of just like life at that time, where you just kind of chilled and hung out with your friends and did things like that, which we can't do right now under isolation. But
right. But the thing is, it kind of reminded me of like, life, in that way. I didn't graduate until 2002, but I was alive during that time, and just watched this movie too. I'm just thinking like, these people got along fine without the internet. The internet was around back then, but it wasn't like, not everyone had it, and type of thing. But
it was still dial up for the most part, and
dial up. But like, you just called someone if you wanted to talk to them, and then
you weren't spending hours online. Maybe sometimes, right. and if you could, all you were doing was talking on AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, pretty much, or building your GeoCities website or whatever.
GeoCities for life, brother. Yeah. Anyways,
I had a GeoCity. I forgot what it was for. It was for something. I had one. I think it was for like my first band or something like that. Like,
I had one with all my poetry on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I wish I could remember what it was and see if it's on the Wayback Machine so I could look at it or something,
I don't know about that, because I had one for Netscape that was for my first band, not GeoCities. Mm-hmm. It was Netscape. And I've been looking for that for years, and way back, it's gone. It's not there anymore. I'm like, damn it.
That sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know I lost a lot of my poetry. It got stolen from me, unfortunately. So
shit.
I had it all saved on an external hard drive, and then my apartment got broken into, and it was stolen. So, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
But c'est la vie. That is life. See, that happens. At least my whole house didn't get burned down like David's in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
If he had any, he got all of his paintings probably destroyed and stuff too. That just sucks.
Probably that's what he said when he's like, all my drawings were there, when he got back home. But yeah, like I'm just saying though, it's like, like we're so used to the internet and stuff, just like being like almost like it's a necessity, like you have to have it, and it's like, no, we were fine without it. It's cool to have and stuff, but it's like it's weird too, because I noticed that like in these old movies and stuff, like where someone's calling, someone else or whatever, they eventually give up and they do something else. Nowadays, you can't even have a scene like that in the movie, because if the person knows you're online and they're like, I see you, I know you're there, and it's like, stuff like that, and it's like it's a whole new dynamic then, because
it's like, a lot harder to avoid people.
It is. It's also harder for the person who's being it'd be like the equivalent of like someone standing outside someone's house and you're calling the person from like a cell phone, and you see that person like sitting on the couch, and you could hear their phone ring, and they're not picking up, and it's like, I know you hear your fucking phone ringing.
Yes.
That's like a weird stalker movie right there. But
if you think about it, a lot of horror films and stuff from back in the day could easily be solved right now. It's like yeah, my you know, as long as you have reception, it's like, yeah, so there's this guy in a hockey mask chasing me.
Right.
You know, you just pick up your cell phone and call that and let everybody know, you know, and then eventually Jason's arrested. Right.
Exactly. There you go. That's the end of the movie.
Yep.
Jason on lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
but
it's just, there's a lot of things that are changed now, you know. It's like the whole, like, you know, the killer's inside the house, you know, the phone calls coming from within the house, you know. Yeah, well,
right.
That's easy to do because you have a cell phone. And
exactly.
Yeah.
I remember Scream, was it Scream, I think it was, where she was really clever and she actually dialed 911 on the computer, which would be like the equivalent of sending like a text to 911, but that was like a dial-up computer back then, you know?
Yeah.
Which, you know, I thought that was really kind of clever of her to do that. Not make a noise. Although I guess you could hear, because those keyboards were really loud back then, so you could hear like
those
type, you know?
Clicky keyboards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I think this movie, though, I would recommend it. I'd put it up there. I mean, I don't know if it's as good as the movies that I've mentioned, like Clerks and Dazed and Confused and Reality Bites and stuff like that of the time. But it's a good watch, and if you grew up in that era like I did, and you want to kind of feel like you're back in that time, it's a good thing. I mean, I have just some issues with it. The date rape thing, I'm just trying to still analyze and figure out. I think I've come to terms with it, but it's just that just kind of came out of nowhere to me. Through the rest of the movie, you know, it was kind of like just in there for, I don't know. Maybe it's in the book and that's why they put it in there, you know, and maybe there's more scenes that were in the book that they cut out that would have made that make more sense and thematically fit in better.
Well, Courtney Love did say that she was raped by, I think it was like a music producer or something. And I think that guy who was throwing that party was supposed to be like music guy, so that could have been.
I mean, if you're taking reality and putting it in there, but you know that sometimes when you're turning reality into art, and you're looking for some kind of point in there. I mean, which I don't know if they were necessarily. You know, it's like you gotta kind of have some kind of something to back it up. But I did enjoy the movie. I just think that a few tweaks here and there could have made it better. Just like some more explanation to that, a couple of, you know, more development in certain characters, you know. But other than that, I mean, but there's only so much you can fit into like an hour and a half movie.
Right, especially this movie when there's like three different subplots going on at the same time.
I mean, at the same time, there wasn't enough and there was too much at the same time, you know. It was like...
Right, yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I felt about it at times, where I'm like, this movie's kind of long, but not a lot has happened in it. Like,
yeah. But I still enjoyed it. I mean, I like those slice of life, you know, kind of comedies and dramas and stuff. And, I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for myself and what I'm writing lately. I do have certain ones that I'm obviously aren't like that, but you know, that's what I'm writing lately with the stuff I've kind of come up with. But anyways, that's life and slices.
That's life. Yeah, life in slices, like pizza slices.
Yes.
Pizza
with some life cereal sprinkled on top.
No. I had pizza earlier with olives on it, green olives on it.
Yeah.
It was good, actually.
Huh. I'm not a big...
I'm not a
big olive guy. I don't really like olives.
Either am I, but for some reason, it's got to be green olives, though, on pizza. most people like black olives on pizza if they do olives, but I like the green ones because they're salty and it kind of adds. I like weird stuff on pizza though. I mean, I was like I was putting stuff like feta cheese and like broccoli on pizza like way before that. Here I am sounding like some hipster. I was putting weird stuff on pizza before it was cool, man.
You heard it here. So... You heard it here first, folks. Matt was cool before it was cool.
Yeah, man. But did you see the angry video game video? Angry video game nerd video where it was like an old video that they had uploaded recently, where they were trying all of the weird pizza toppings that were mentioned in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons.
No.
Oh God,
I might have to watch that.
It's a really weird video. I think it was really old. It looks like it's at least like 12 years old video. But I don't remember that in the cartoon. I just remember that they always ate pizza. I never remembered them like requesting weird toppings like marshmallows or whipped cream or whatever.
Yeah, it was probably in the cartoon.
Like peanut butter and clams or something disgusting like that.
Ew. So yeah,
I know.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you out there listening right now know of any cool pizza toppings and want to share them with us, let us know. If you also if you know of any like hidden gems of movies, you know, kind of like this one or other movies that we're going to cover soon here on the podcast that you think we should watch and talk about, send us your suggestions over at our Twitter or our Facebook page or somewhere, or to mike@cullenpark.com, and we will definitely watch those. I guarantee it.
Guarantee.
Guarantee. But anyways, also make sure you follow us everywhere that you can online. Subscribe to the show. Rate us. That's very important. Give us a 5-star review if you like us. Give us a 1-star review if you hate us. I don't care. Yeah, the more reviews you get, the more people will find us. Even the bad ones. Anyways, but you know, and if you want to get some cool merchandise that we have for the show, check out our TeePublic. Go to our Patreon as well, and we can get some cool things. You know, right there, that's the easiest way to give us suggestions of things to do on the show. We'll do whatever you want if you pay us. Within reason. They have to be legal.
Yeah.
And not too embarrassing. And and by whatever you want, I mean we'll talk about whatever movie you want us to talk about or something.
Yeah. You got to be very clear with these people.
Yes. And no, we're not going to talk about Deep Throat or something. You know, we're not going to talk about porn. Or snuff films or Faces of Death or anything like that. No, I'm just giving you examples of things not to suggest to us.
Yeah.
We're talking about things like, you know, like Bongwater. That's what we'd rather talk about.
Like Bongwater Part 2 or what? No, they never made a sequel.
Bongwater 2, Electric Boogaloo. Bongwater 2, even bongier. Bong harder.
Oh God. Oh, that reminded me too. They actually were watching porn in the movie at one point. Mm-hmm. Robert and Tony.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just reminded me of that.
So if you're on the fence about watching the movie and that throws you over the fence, there you go.
Yeah, if you're into like gay porn that looks like it was intentionally made for the movie itself, then there you go.
Indeed. Okay, folks. Well, I think that's all we've got for this week.
No,
Anything else, Matt, before we go?
Yeah, just maybe just look out for my my page, the Matthew Haas music page. It's like there's like a picture of me kind of like photoshopped to look like a superhero, like a cartoon figure. I uploaded some music recently with just like some video clips, kind of like the movie, just sort of like the video clips really aren't meant to have like a theme. It's more of just like a feeling type of thing. Just so there's no real. So don't criticize me for it not making sense, because it's not really supposed to make sense. Just kind of supposed to accompany the music, because
kind of just washes over you.
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking, I don't know, like if I want people to check my stuff out, I'm not going to just upload 40 minutes of music and then with just a black screen, like, my music is so good that you should be willing to just stare at a black screen the whole time. Like, no. So, try to make it.
That's how I listen to all of my music. Anyways, no, but yeah, I'll put a link to that, to Matt's Facebook page in our show notes for this episode. So make sure you click on that.
Yeah, and I'll probably do another one sometime soon, but I'm not gonna set a date this time because I had some technical difficulties last week. So I'm gonna make sure I actually make the second file and have it uploaded before I even announce that I'm gonna be doing it again.
So yeah, just go. I'm gonna link the Facebook page. Make sure you like it and look for updates on there. And then when Matt posts any videos of any kind or any audio of any kind, it'll be right there for you to listen to or watch or both.
Cool.
And let it wash over you like like a bath.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm tired. Anyways, so hope you all have a good evening, folks, and make sure you don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff, and make sure you bong your water. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Haas. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.